Can you be my date for one day? The restaurant went silent. Forks froze midair, whispers melted away, and all eyes turned to the corner booth where a man in an expensive black suit sat with tears trembling in his eyes. The waitress standing beside him, her hands shaking, tray still clutched to her chest, stared back in shock. She never imagined the city's most powerful CEO would beg her, a nobody, a single waitress, to be his date. But what no one knew was that she looked exactly like the wife he had lost 3 years ago. Before we dive in, friends, if you believe that love can heal even the deepest wounds, tap the red, subscribe to the channel, and stay until the end. Because what happens between this man and that waitress will break your heart and then mend it again. Ethan Cole was the kind of man everyone admired and feared. The youngest billionaire CEO in New York, owner of Cole Industries, his life was filled with business meetings, headlines, and hollow applause. But behind the sharp suits and steel eyes, Ethan was just a man living with ghosts. 3 years ago, his wife Isabella had died in a car crash. A rainy night, a curve too sharp, a goodbye never said. Since then, Ethan lived like a shadow. His mansion was silent, his dinners untouched, his bed cold. He went to work, signed deals, attended charity galas, but he never smiled, not once. And then one ordinary Thursday evening, fate decided to cross his path with a woman who looked like the echo of his lost love. The restaurant was small, Luna's Bistro, a cozy corner spot with soft jazz and golden light. Ethan had stopped by only because his driver's car had broken down nearby. When Lily Harper, the waitress, came to take his order, Ethan froze. Her eyes, those soft hazel eyes. Her smile, that exact tilt Isabella used to have. Even the way she tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, it was uncanny. He almost dropped his glass. "Sir, are you all right?" Lily asked gently. Ethan blinked, struggling to breathe. For a moment, he thought he was hallucinating again, like those sleepless nights when he'd talked to the ghost of his wife in the dark. But this woman was real. Her voice different, a little softer, but her kindness the same. Ethan left the restaurant that night shaken, but something about her haunted him in a way that didn't hurt as much as it used to. The next evening, Ethan returned. Then again the next day. He'd sit at the same corner table, order coffee, and just watch her. Not in a creepy way, but like a man watching a dream he didn't want to wake up from. Lily noticed, of course. She was used to flirty customers, but this man, he was different, sad, lonely, and kind. Finally, one evening, she approached him with a nervous laugh. "Sir, I think you've had enough coffee to last you a lifetime. Are you waiting for someone?" Ethan looked up, his eyes glimmering with something heavy. "Yes," he whispered, "someone I lost a long time ago." Lily hesitated, unsure how to respond. Then, with that kind-hearted instinct of hers, she said softly, "I'm sorry. I hope you find her someday." That night, as she was clearing his table, Ethan spoke again. "Miss Harper," he said, voice trembling, "I have a charity gala tomorrow night. I need someone to accompany me just for one evening." Lily blinked, startled. "Me, sir, I'm just a waitress." He looked at her, eyes full of grief and desperation. "I know, but please, can you be my date for one day?" The room went quiet, even the music seemed to fade. Something in his voice, a loneliness deeper than words, made her heart ache. The next evening, Lily stood in front of the mirror in a simple sky blue dress the hotel stylist had picked for her. She barely recognized herself. Her manager had encouraged her, said the CEO was a good man, generous, respectful, and honestly, Lily needed the money. Her younger brother's medical bills were piling up, and every extra dollar counted. When Ethan saw her walk down the marble staircase of his mansion, time froze. For a heartbeat, he thought he saw Isabella. Her laughter echoed in his mind, memories flooding him. The night of their first date, the way she had twirled in her blue dress under the fairy lights. He had to look away, clenching his fists to steady himself. "You look beautiful," he whispered. Lily smiled shyly. "Thank you, Mr. Cole." "Ethan," he corrected softly. At the gala, cameras flashed, people whispered, and the city's elite speculated who the mysterious woman beside the reclusive CEO was. Lily felt out of place, but Ethan made sure she didn't. He opened doors, introduced her with quiet pride, and treated her not as an escort, but as someone precious. Halfway through the evening, as the orchestra played, he asked her to dance. She hesitated. "I'm not very good at." He smiled. "Neither am I anymore." As they danced, he whispered, "My wife loved this song." Lily's heart tightened. She didn't know what to say, so she simply smiled up at him. "Then let's dance for her." And in that moment, something changed. Ethan didn't see Isabella anymore. He saw Lily, the woman in front of him, real, kind, alive. Later that night, they sat on the mansion balcony overlooking the city. The moonlight shimmered against the skyline. Ethan finally spoke. "You remind me of someone I loved more than life itself. When I saw you, it felt like she'd come back." Lily listened quietly, eyes filled with compassion. "I'm not her, Mr. Cole," she said softly. "But maybe she sent me to remind you that love doesn't die, it just changes form." Ethan looked at her, his throat tightening. No one had ever said it like that before. For the first time in years, he smiled, a small, fragile smile but real. The next morning, Lily tried to slip away quietly, thinking her role in his story was done. But Ethan stopped her at the door. "I don't want to forget tonight," he said. "Can we have coffee sometime, as friends?" She hesitated, then nodded, "As friends." Days turned into weeks, coffee turned into dinners. Conversations turned into laughter. Lily's warmth began melting the ice around Ethan's heart. And as he learned about her struggles, her brother in the hospital, her long hours, her simple dreams, he began helping quietly, anonymously. He arranged her brother's surgery under a charity name. He helped her study for her business degree. Not because he wanted to buy her affection, but because she had already given him something he couldn't buy. One day, while going through his late wife's belongings, Ethan found an old sealed letter. It was addressed to "the man I love if I'm gone." His hands trembled as he opened it. "Ethan, if life ever takes me away, promise me one thing: don't shut the door on love. You have too much kindness to live alone in shadows. One day, someone will walk into your life with the same light you once saw in me. Don't turn away, let her in." Tears streamed down his face. He knew then Isabella hadn't sent Lily to replace her. She'd sent her to heal him. Months later, Ethan returned to Luna's bistro. This time not as a broken man, but as someone ready to live again. Lily was wiping a table when she saw him. "Mr. Cole, Ethan," she said, surprised. He smiled, holding a small white rose, the same flower Isabella used to love. "I never got to thank you," he said, "for reminding me how to feel again." She smiled gently. "You don't have to thank me." But then he took her hand and said the same words that had started it all. "Can you be my date for one day?" Lily laughed through tears. "One day." He smiled, "For now, but maybe if fate allows, for a lifetime." Years later, photos of their wedding filled newspapers, not the glamorous headlines but the heartfelt ones. The widowed CEO who found love again, with the waitress who healed his heart. Ethan often said in interviews, "Love doesn't end when someone dies, it just finds a new form. Sometimes it walks into your life when you least expect it, wearing an apron, serving coffee, and reminding you that tomorrow is still worth waking up for." Grief may bury love for a while, but kindness digs it back out. When you open your heart again, love finds its way home.